When I finally get across chilly Jordan, and I'm standing there on the other side, I will wait for you with my arms held open to welcome you across the raging tide. We will run in fields of gold, see the half that's never yet been told. Hand in hand we'll journey to the throne, and we'll sing Alleluia. Holy is the Lamb, King of glory, you are worthy. Hallelujah to the Lamb. Our time on earth was short, quite imperfect. The dreams we dreamed never quite came true. But that's alright, 'cause knowing that you'll be here means the dream will be eternity with you. We will sing a victory song in a land we've waited for so long. Then we'll gather with the others around the throne, and we'll sing Alleluia.